Hello, this is Salvatore Vinciguerra. Welcome to this video on the American Italian Cultural Center located in New Orleans, Louisiana. The American Italian Museum is located in downtown New Orleans at 537 South Peter Street. The museum tells the history of American Italians in the southeastern part of the United States of America. It shares with others their contributions to all areas of daily life through photographs, articles, family histories, and memorabilia. There are many festivals that occur in the city of New Orleans, so they also have artifacts from the societies and festivals that take place in the great city. Since my uncle Stefano Campo is a member of the American Italian Society in New Orleans, I get a private viewing of this special museum. As we walk through the doors of the museum, my Uncle Stefano shares with me a placard on the wall that is dedicated to my grandmother, Josephine Campo, and many other families that have lived in the city of New Orleans that helped build this museum to help preserve Italian cultural heritage. This statue is most probably the museum's most prized possession, and when Louis Prima, the famous jazz musician, died in 1978, this statue had to be moved out of the cemetery so that he could be buried and they could put a memorial to Louis Prima in the cemetery. So a lot of people ask the question, who is this person and why is he significant to Italian American culture in the United States? This is Giuseppe Garibaldi, and he was most probably the greatest Italian patriot of all time. He personally led many of the crucial military campaigns that brought about the formation of a unified Italy in 1861. Throughout his long history, he traveled to the Americas. He spent a lot of time doing business in New York and other places in South America. The first Italians came to Louisiana as explorers in the 17th and 18th centuries. In the 18th century, many Italians, primarily from northern Italy, arrived in Louisiana. The early Italian immigrants started businesses and supported the development of the arts. According to the Census Bureau, between 1850 and 1870, there were more Italians in New Orleans than anywhere else in the United States. The Italians who settled in Louisiana in the 1800s developed import-export trade routes between Palermo, Sicily, and New Orleans, bringing citrus fruits, figs, and olives to the Crescent City. Following Italian unification, many Sicilians from small towns around Palermo immigrated to New Orleans on the same shipping routes that early Italians had established. They found jobs on sugar plantations, strawberry farms, and docks. So many Sicilians settled in the French Quarter, and that is often called Piccolo Palermo. Between 1880 and 1920, nearly 100,000 Sicilians immigrated to Louisiana. Today, many Louisianians joke that they aren't Italian, but Sicilian. Did you know that Italian Americans were lynched in New Orleans? On March 14, 1891, 11 Italian Americans were lynched by a mob for their role in murdering Police Chief David Hennessy after some of them had been acquitted at trial. This most probably was the largest single mass lynching in United States history. During the 1890s, Italian Americans were victim to this kind of hostility, and there were more than 20 lynchings that occurred in many different places throughout the United States. It took until April of 2019, 128 years later, that the mayor of New Orleans finally apologizes for these lynchings. Did you know that New Orleans was the first place in the United States to have an opera house? This is because many of the Italian Americans that came to the United States also brought with them their music. Along with prominent African American artists, Italian American musicians contributed to jazz music. Mardi Gras has its roots in Italy's Carnival, which was first celebrated in Venice in 1094 and has been officially sanctioned by the city since 1296. Carnival spread from the medieval Italy to the French house of the Bourbons and eventually France's colonies, including Louisiana. Bienville established Mardi Gras New Orleans in 1718. The holiday was celebrated with elaborate balls. The parades didn't begin until the 1830s, throws weren't created until 1870, and it wasn't until 1875 that Mardi Gras became a legal holiday. St. Joseph's Day is held annually on March 19th. It is a day of remembrance and celebration here in Louisiana. Many centuries ago in Sicily, there was a terrible famine, and the Sicilians prayed to St. Joseph for help. The fava bean was one of the first crops to grow and help sustain the people. To show their thanks, the Sicilians created an altar in the piazza for St. Joseph. When Sicilians came to New Orleans, they brought this tradition with them, and today many churches, families, businesses, and schools create their own St. Joseph altars. The museum also includes the Louisiana American Italian Sports Hall of Fame. The American Italian Cultural Center promotes the culture and heritage of the American Italian community by offering Italian language and cultural classes, seminars, concerts, and special events throughout the year. This is Salvatore Vinciguerra. Thank you for watching this video on the American Italian Cultural Center located in New Orleans, Louisiana. If you like this video, please like it, subscribe to this channel, and have a great day. Thank you.